Officer Tatum has to be one of the biggest raccoon sellouts to ever exist.
You can feel it, you can touch it, because people saw a child that looked like their own, that did nothing wrong. A child that all the witnesses described had fear in his eyes when he left the store.
I want to hear what he had to say about his 14-year-old boy with a gun in his hand, stealing from the store.
After Asian store owner Rick Chow got acquitted of fatally shooting a 14-year-old Cyrus in the back.
Chike Rick Chow, we, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Chike Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty.
Officer Tatum decides to lie on Cyrus to justify his murder.
The boy stole from a store as a 14-year-old kid with a loaded gun.
Rather than examining how the situation escalated and what the Chows did wrong or could have done differently.
He can be heard being confronted by Rick Chow's wife and son about the water bottles and denying he took them. He's then pursued out of the store by Rick Chow and his son.
But to see a black man blaming a black kid for his own death and caping so hard for the people that falsely accused him, killed him, and then lied on him, it's just disturbing.
How do you get to the point as a 14-year-old boy carrying a loaded gun around with you, stealing from stores?
But I'm Jew, welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. Tatum is a clown. Hold up, father claims his 14-year-old son did nothing wrong, but he was allegedly shoplifting. He didn't shoplift. That was proven in court. He didn't steal anything, and he was falsely accused.
The video shows Belton taking water bottles out of a cooler, then immediately putting them back in, as prosecutors have said he did all along.
He was carrying a loaded gun. He shouldn't have been, but that also played no part in this encounter. He didn't try to rob the store. He didn't pull out the gun when they falsely accused him of shoplifting.
He can be heard being confronted by Rick Chow's wife and son about the water bottles and denying he took them.
And when they chased him, he ran for his life.
He's then pursued out of the store by Rick Chow and his son.
At no point did he turn around, pull out the gun, confront them, or anything like that. They shot him in the back, which the court proved.
The forensic pathologist who performed Cyrus's autopsy. She walked jurors through the bullet's path through his body, using x-rays and a courtroom demonstration to explain what positioning would be consistent with the trajectory she observed.
You expect this trajectory, would it be consistent with somebody running away in a runner's stance, with their back directly towards you?
Yes.
He had a gun in his hand. He shouldn't have had a gun. A 14-year-old shouldn't have had a gun. But he didn't steal from the store. And for Tatum to say that so recklessly is indicative of how much he kisses ass of these racist white supremacists.
You can feel it, you can touch it, because people saw a child that looked like their own, that did nothing wrong. A child that all the witnesses described had fear in his eyes when he left the store.
Time out. The boy stole from a store as a 14-year-old kid with a loaded gun.
He did not steal from a store. The video footage shows him looking at the water, getting waters out, putting waters back, nothing in his pocket, nothing in his hoodie. He's saying he has water in his pocket when he doesn't.
I don't got no water in my pocket, bro. I'll show you water.
He was never found with anything stolen on him. And for Tatum to be saying this so recklessly, to be lying on this boy that lost his life, he should get sued.
And when they came to confront him, he took off running. He had no business doing none of that stuff he did.
He's wrong again. He didn't take off running. They accused him of stealing. He said he didn't. He grabbed his book bag and walked out of the store. They came out at full speed chasing him. He was already in the street by the parking lot by the time he turned around, saw them chasing him, and started running for his life. Tatum is wrong and just straight up lying.
Store as a 14-year-old kid with a loaded gun. And when they came to confront him, he took off running.
Lies.
He had no business doing none of that stuff he did. Quit trying to act like this was a 14-year-old boy minding his business, drinking the iced tea, and some racist Chinese people just killed him for no reason. The boy had a gun.
He didn't use it. He didn't pull out that gun at any point in time.
How do you get to the point as a 14-year-old boy carrying a loaded gun around with you, stealing from stores.
He shouldn't have had the gun, but the gun played absolutely no part in the encounter, as was proven in court.
Prosecutors asked if it would have been possible for Cyrus to have been turned around pointing a weapon. She said no.
I don't want to hear he didn't do nothing wrong. You could say that they were wrong, but to say he did nothing wrong is crazy.
Needs to put on the item check. Yep.
She told him you can't have a book bag, so he put the book bag down by the front. As soon as he walked in, they were already watching him and already on him. She's just watching him. Both of them. He's watching from right here. She goes around the store to watch him, to act like she's doing something, but it's all to watch him. She goes in this corner, does nothing. She goes right here and starts fixing chips that there was nothing wrong with, just to keep him in her line of sight. I do this all the time when I walk in convenience stores, especially with my kids, but even when I'm by myself. I never know what I want when I go in 7-Eleven. I will go to the water fridge, look at the waters. I go to the energy drink section. I pick out an energy drink, then I'll think, do I need it or not? Go back to the water section, get candy, think about if anybody else wants anything. This is literally me when I go in these convenience stores. Look at this, she's doing nothing. She's doing nothing but following him around. And now at this point, just standing there and staring at this 14-year-old boy. She's accusing him of stealing the water right now, which he didn't.
You have one in your pocket. You have one in your pocket. In your pocket. Yeah. I don't got no water in my pocket, bro. I'll still water.
You would have some tools to work with if you had gotten a call that this guy, this boy right here, had stolen. Do you think you would have some tools to help identify him?
Yes,
And investigate whether or not he had stolen water?
yes,
Do you feel confident law enforcement could have handled this?
absolutely.
But the defense spent much of the afternoon focusing on Cyrus's actions that night.
Of course they got a black lawyer. All skin folk ain't kinfolk, I swear.
So this young man went into the store with no money, an empty book bag, and a loaded firearm, and you're telling this jury there was nothing suspicious about that?
Well, we don't know they didn't have any money on him at all. There was no money found on him.
I appreciate that correction. There was no money found on him. But on top of that, how many of us go into stores with no money on us and just our phones in our pockets? Because we have digital currency. We pay for everything with our phone nowadays. I'm sure he had his phone on him.
The run as two grown men chased him down over a football field
Yeah, 130 yards running for his life. I think a football field is 120 yards.
and shot him dead. This should not happen.
How can you hate yourself and hate your people as much as people like Officer Tatum does? That there's no empathy, no sympathy for somebody that looks like him losing their lives at the hands of a racist.
This makes us feel as if our children don't matter, and they do. This makes us feel like Cyrus's life did not matter, and it did. There is no way that a child who did nothing wrong, who is shot in his back, how that jury can justify that verdict.
You dressed, you got your suit on, you're doing all this, but where were you at when your son was running around the streets with a loaded gun in his hand, stealing from the store?
He did not steal from a store, and Officer Tatum keeps lying and regurgitating false narratives to justify this boy losing his life.
Y'all love to go and cry me a river, and the white man bad, and people like us don't get treated right. But you fail to prevent your son. I'm assuming that he lived with him, and if he don't live with you and he live with his mama or something, that's different. But if you are responsible for this boy and he living in your house, you are responsible to hold him accountable so that he don't end up stealing and getting killed.
Cyrus did not steal one single thing. He did not put anything in his hoodie and his pants. He was falsely accused, chased, attacked, and killed. These fucking raccoons.
Your son, if he had not died, would have gone to prison for being illegally in possession of a firearm. also felony crime, committing theft while in possession of a stolen gun or an illegal gun.
Did not steal anything. Like, what the fuck?
He would have gotten charged with multiple felonies at the age of 14 years old. And you stand up here and y'all gaslighting the public.
He's gaslighting the public.
Ran away, and he got shot in the back. Should not happen. Shouldn't have happened. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to deal with the end results of it.
Even Officer Tatum fans, which I don't even know how he has any of those, were calling him out. He didn't commit armed robbery, nigga. I usually agree with you. But if he's running, what the fuck does it matter if he has a gun? Oh, if you got a gun and you stealing, you could have possibly killed me. Man, shut the fuck up. We don't care if he had a gun. Bro, kids do bullshit parents don't condone. The gun played absolutely no part in that whole scenario. The child's even got exposed for lying about him pulling out a gun on them because they proved how he got shot in his back. It would have been impossible to do so. He didn't steal anything, Sambo. There's proof of that. There's literally video proof. How does it feel to be a lying bitch? Cyrus did not steal anything from the store, nor did he at any time brandish a gun at anyone. And I saw a lot of this racist nonsense online. Just lies, just outright lies. Cyrus Carmack-Belton has a long criminal history, drug, gun, assault, and rape charges, 22 charges total. Absolute lie. They literally made that lie up out of nowhere. So we're lying on a 14-year-old kid who was killed by a racist. Cyrus Carmack-Belton was a 14-year-old student with no criminal record at the time of his death. He was fatally shot in May 2023 after being falsely accused of shoplifting water. There is no way a black shop owner could chase a white or Asian teenager, shoot them in the back, and walk free. Of course not. But even look at this racist comment. This is so much of the rhetoric and comments I saw online about this. White and Asian kids wouldn't be robbing your imaginary black-ass shop owner. Cyrus didn't rob anything. He didn't steal anything. But that is the narrative that racists are pitching out to defend this situation. Officer Tatum and people like him, the Myrons, the Andre Williams, the Sneakos, all are dealing with deep-seated hatred and low racial self-esteem. They hate themselves, so they demonize the easiest target, which is black people, to get closer to whiteness, to be accepted by racist white supremacists that will never accept them in the first place. And what Officer Tatum did is a perfect example of that. Jumping out there, lying about the situation, lying about what Cyrus did, justifying his death at the hands of somebody who had malicious intent the second they left that store. But I'm tired of people like him having a platform to demonize the black community, tap dancing for racists that hate him too. But shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting and thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.